shall we? Now I'm bloody up. Why did I do all of that for? Excuse me for a second, please. While I take off my jacket, let's talk about something very interesting. Right, today I'm going to be talking about that clock, right, didn't have a battery for about 2-3 weeks. I come in here today to film and hello there. By the way, I didn't move out because if you follow my videos, you would have heard me talking about moving out. I'm gonna save that for another video because obviously that's a whole other subject. But just so you know, this is my usual place, but it's a different background. This thing was really expensive as well, right? And it's like not very even on the bottom. Just like a bit like, whoa, I don't know how to stand. Today, I'm here to talk about something that's quite like very dear to me. How do I introduce the subject without sounding like a crazy person? Well, I'm gonna be talking about some tips of how to get over somebody. If you're in love and you're obsessing, like I think most of us are like that, and it's really funny because I'm watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I've just finished watching it on Netflix and it's hilarious. But I think that we all can relate, right? When we are heartbroken, how difficult it is. And actually the first love that I ever had, I was about 15. It took me 3 years to stop crying. I swear I cried every single night for like 3 years, and I only got over that person when I fell in love with somebody else, type of thing. Like, oh my god, that's not fair though. That's like 3 years of my life gone down the drain. Anyway, I learned so much about myself since then, right, that I'm a very passionate person and I feel things very, very deeply. And also, I'm a fairy tale believer, and I think that a lot of people are anyway. Like, they just like want to believe the best of like the situation, and if you're not, good on you that you don't suffer as much. But oh my god, 3 years is too long, I'm just saying. Now I'm 35 years old. No, I'm not. Why did I say 35? Oh my god, I just like skipped a whole year of my life. So then, now that I'm 34, I feel like I've really mastered this thing. I had a boyfriend a few years back. It was actually one after the other, where it was literally like, oh, okay, it's done, all right, bye. And then I felt like a bit like an alien. I was like, oh my god, what's happened to me? And then since those two, I've kind of like learnt, how to like not allow the mind, I'm gonna explain this today, right, is that like how we allow the mind to just play. And the thing is, sometimes the mind plays in a very, very suffering way. So then after these two, where I was just like, all right, see you later, goodbye. And then that was like ages ago. And so then I'm like single for a long time. And then somehow, in some type of circumstance, it happens where somebody sneaks in, right? So then this time, my head and my heart started to try to do this thing, like when I was a bit younger, where it wanted to like be sad and be upset and start obsessing over thoughts and stuff. And I'm like, hold on. It took me a little bit to take control over it, but I was really happy that in the end, it feels like I took control over it, because obviously now I'm just like fine. So I thought, let me do a video about this, just in case I've picked up some really good tips, and I just want to help people that just might be obsessing over their exes and stuff, and they just need some tips and stuff to like get over it. So I want to start at the point where we've decided that this person is not for us, because they've done this, they've proven that this is not what I want. And then from that point on, we end up either going backwards and forwards with that person because like you're just delusional, or you just end up crying lots and lots, right, because you can't be with that person. And here's the thing, right, that I've learned. What I realized that my brain does, right, it starts to try to connect to what I think that the person is experiencing. And if I decide in that moment that the person is feeling heartbroken and that the person is feeling like they care about me and they want me, then my brain starts to connect and my feelings start to get stronger. And that's when you start to become a bit obsessive, because you start to make up stories that they care. Bearing in mind, you've not spoken to this person, right? So then you don't know if that's the truth, but because you've had the thought, now your body has reacted and now you want to connect with that person. Either your idea is positive towards you or it's negative towards you, right? So either if it's positive, oh, they're in love with me and they're heartbroken that we're not together anymore, then your heart starts doing that fluttering thing, like you want to see them, you want to talk to them. Or, oh my gosh, they don't care about me, they never cared about me, they're probably with some next chick right now. And then your heart starts to break, right? So either one of those thoughts, right, end up carrying you somewhere. Either to your self-worth goes down, or your emotions start to come back and you want to be with that person again. And bearing in mind that all of this was just your thinking. because you've not spoken to this person, you don't live inside of their brain, so you have no idea what they're experiencing, but here you are living this moment, right? And it's really interesting because one of them is going to make you feel really, really shit about yourself, or the other one is going to make you keep doing circles with this person, because then you go back because you have this whole belief, and then you go back and then they prove to you once again that you don't want that person because of this, like they keep proving it to you. You might keep going through this cycle because you come back and you're by yourself again, and then you start to believe, oh my gosh, they're heartbroken. The sad reality is that we don't have access to people's thoughts and their reality, so we have no clue if really if they care or if they don't care, right? So what I decided to do, because I was witnessing myself doing this stuff, right, keep going in circles with somebody or feeling like they don't care, and it's just like breaking my heart and it's making me feel like lower of myself. So I was witnessing myself doing these things, and I was like, hold on. First of all, I admitted that this behavior is crazy. I'm being crazy because I don't know if he cares and I don't know if he doesn't care. And if I asked him these questions, first of all, he wouldn't answer me the way that I wanted, like these like straight answers. He wouldn't give them to me. And then second of all, if he did, this brain again wouldn't even believe it because it's got all of these other thoughts going on. So either way, talking to him, not talking to him, none of this was being resolved. It was just making me act like a crazy person. After admitting that I'm acting crazy and I'm actually being a bit obsessive, because it's like I'm sitting there like hoovering my house and thinking, and bearing in mind that I didn't want to do this and my brain was just doing it by itself, and I have 100 other things that I could be thinking about that are more important, and here I am obsessing about if this guy really liked me or not, or if this guy cared or not, or if this guy is probably like really heartbroken, or if he's like moved on with some next girl already. Like I've got so many other things that I could be doing with my brain and myself, and here I am obsessing. So the first step in observing this is that just to admit that this was happening, that I was acting crazy and I was being obsessive. My brain wasn't doing what I wanted it to do and it was acting obsessive. So that was the first step. Then I decided, okay, what if I just decide to give myself the power so then I move on? It doesn't matter if you like me or not. It doesn't matter if you're hurt by me or not. It doesn't matter if you are with the next girl already or not, right? I am me. So then in that moment, I gave the power back to myself where it's like, this is my story. I'm the main character here. I get to be this girl that's like talented and do. So then I came back to my skills and how I see myself. So then I came back to who I am instead of like what this guy feels about me or what he doesn't feel about me. I just decided who I am again. And then I had to keep reminding myself that this is where I want to stay, where I gave myself my power back of like, no, this is who I am. It doesn't matter what he thinks because I am me. And then the final thing that happened, which was like really set me free, is to finally accept that it could possibly be both. And it doesn't matter because either way, this person is not for me. Accept that he doesn't like you and he's moved on with another girl. Accept that he is heartbroken and you've broken his heart. Accept both of them and still accept that the power is still inside of me though. So I'm not gonna do nothing with that information. Fine, okay, you like another girl, okay, you never liked me, okay, you used me to make yourself feel better, okay, and just let it hurt. Oh, he's heartbroken, yeah, okay, he's heartbroken, that's what happened. And it's like this self-acceptance of like, but I still have the power because I get to decide who I am. So it doesn't matter how you see me or how you see me. In this moment, it gave me power to say that I hold my body, I hold this moment, and you can go away. You can just stay there. If you keep doing this, eventually, if he likes you or not, if he doesn't like you or not, it just won't have power anymore. And it's crazy because we all do this, right? But we all make up fairy tales and stories in our mind about what's going on in the outside. And the reality is that we don't know. And I know everybody's like, oh, use your intuition. And the problem with that is that if your intuition tells you that something is not good, how it makes your self-esteem feel is like you want to cover it up a little bit. And it's like, oh, that's so bad for my self-esteem. Oh my God. So then you try and like paint it in a different way. So then you make yourself feel better. We want to believe in a fairy tale, but sometimes the actions of people need to speak for themselves. And we want to believe in a fairy tale, but sometimes just accepting that it's not a fairy tale gives you the power back. And then you're not a victim anymore. So then you can stand by yourself and then look for the real prince, because you're looking for a prince. And if you're wasting your time on these people that are not your real prince, you're just wasting time. So you might as well just accept it. You're not my fairy tale, fine, you used me, fine, but where's the power? It's inside of me. So then you don't get to tell me that I'm not a real princess, right? So I'm gonna go and be a real princess. Accept people's actions, and that's really, really hard because their actions are like basically telling you that you're not good enough, right? That hurts, but let me accept that. So then I'm not stuck in this loop of like like wasting my time on somebody that's never going to act as if I'm good enough, because a real prince to you will act as if you're good enough. And I really don't like when people say that's never available, all men are rubbish, because it's really not true. And it's like, yes, you get a bunch of people, and then if you spend a lot of time around these particular people, you're going to start to believe that the whole world is like that, but it's not. If these bunch of people are acting in a way that you don't want and you don't like, you just need to go to a different area where you're not looking at that all of the time, because people are very different. So if people show you with their actions that you're not good enough, then it's okay to accept that that's what they're doing and then walk the other way and leave them behind, because we deserve what we want. And this is very sad that we don't get taught that. So if somebody's not giving that to you in their actions and how you feel, then you can definitely leave them behind and go your own way. And then if they do try, I feel like this happens and there's a little bit of a mistake where people try for you. So then they're like, okay, I want to be with you, so I'm gonna try. That's also like the beginning of like a bad fairy tale story. And then you're still not happy. You have to have the courage to move on, because the world is so big, and sometimes we just zone into like one person as if that's all that life is, and it's not. It's like there's a whole massive world out there, and you get to just walk on your journey this way while they do whatever they want. I feel like a true perfect match, right, is when people find it easy to be together. So you don't need to change things that you don't want to change about yourself, and then I have to change things that I don't want to change about myself, so then we can fit and we can be together because we like each other so much. I feel like that's like the ingredients of like a really bad soup. Because I feel like in the end, it's never gonna work, because then that means that you're just not matched. And if you're forcing yourself to be matched with somebody, eventually it's just gonna go bad. But I feel like we hold on to things so tight because we're trying to have this fairy tale in our brain, when really it's okay to accept that that's not your fairy tale, and you could just go somewhere else to find your fairy tale. Because sometimes people meet where they need to upgrade, but they want to upgrade. So it's like, oh Nayna, I see that you do this, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's the one thing that I wish I could change about myself. And then that person like helps me to change that about myself. So then that type of thing is great, because then you're helping each other to upgrade. But if you're changing something that you don't really want to change and you're only doing it to please another person, that's not good. That's not good at all. This could be the beginning of like really teaching people, and not just women, men as well, that you deserve to have what you want, what you like, and you don't need to settle for anything less than that. And maybe if we just stopped like holding on to these people that are not ours, we'd eventually all find our match. Because right now it feels like a lot of people are just mismatched and they're just like holding on to each other, when really you could just let go, let the pain come, keep the power here, and then the pain will go. Literally all pain goes. Oh my gosh, all pain goes. I cried for 3 years and now it's like nothing. So I feel like these things definitely move on, and we just have to have the courage to say, okay, all right, this is not working, I'm gonna go. Some people can't give you what you want, some people can give you what you want. All of us have to be the one that can be honest and say, I can't, I don't want to. Oh my gosh, I want to give that. I don't know how to, but I really want to give that. And then you help each other grow. And the key thing here is just honesty. We just need to be honest about who we're matching with, be honest about the people who have treated us the way that we don't want to be treated. Yes, allow that to sink in, but then remember that you have the power to decide who you are, because you are this magnificent being. And even though that person didn't see it, it doesn't mean that you're not. You didn't see me for who I was. Okay. So now move on with the power. Take control over our obsessive brain, and we have to have the courage to move on from things that are not the best thing for us, and accept it and sit there in the pain for a second. And then you're gonna realize that then it's just gonna go and then you're gonna laugh at it. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I was in so much pain and now it's just nothing. I hope this video has made sense. Have a good day and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.